When the collateral murder video, the video of Apache helicopter gunned down people in Baghdad were released, well, then I sort of felt that I wanted to make a documentary about Wikileaks. And then I went to a documentary department in Swedish national television, and it actually came out that they were already preparing this. So there were already another journalist working in it, and then it was decided that we two should work together. So it's me and a colleague of mine. It was very difficult in the beginning because actually Assange didn't want to make a documentary. So he said no. And then we started anyway, and then we convinced him of participating and letting us in. So the hardest part were to getting access to be a bit behind the scenes inside Wikileaks. I mean, the only thing that we wanted to avoid is to do that only like a hero portrait of Julian Assange, because that's not really interesting. We wanted to sort of complicate things a little bit. That our ambition was to tell a little bit more than what's happening just now, what is the next release, blah, 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 what did Julian do, to tell a little bit about the persons and the history, the background. We were very happy to have also Daniel Domscheit-Berg and PRQ with, so you can see it's not only Julian Assange, there are other people and having different opinions. We also had like these Icelandic people like Smári McCarthy and Birgitta Jonsdottir, so it's not only him, there are so many other people. The documentary has spread on Pirate Bay, it's on YouTube, it's spread, Pirate copied it all over, and people have translated the subtitles into Spanish, German, Italian, French, Portuguese, other languages by themselves. And I think that's very good. As far as pressure, no, but I've had a lot of strange people sort of calling me, and not strange people, I mean, Al Jazeera called me to ask me where Julian Assange is and could I help them with an interview, and I couldn't do it because I didn't know, and I can't tell him what to do, but a lot of people have been contacting me. Most of them are nice, some are a bit crazy, yeah. Well, it is a mixture. I would say, I mean, that the Wikileaks project in its core is a political project, but it's not a left or right project. Now, even though many people tend to think that it's anti-American, I think it's anti-authoritarian. And you could see it's not only an internet project either, because in the Wikileaks you have to count the collaboration with New York Times, with El País, with Guardian. I mean, this is part of the way they work. So I would say it's where like a hacker community or hacker culture, activist culture meets old-fashioned investigative journalism. First of all, it's almost all people work for free, but still they don't get any salary. But of course, there are a couple of people that work more than full-time, and of course they have to pay their rent, they have to eat. And you also have to rent storage room, computer, server spaces. I mean, most of this, or all of this, comes from donations from private persons. But I think there is most of the money has also been channeled through a foundation in Germany. It's called Wow Holland Foundation, who is connected to a hacker club called Chaos Computer Club. So this has been the official way. Now I think the US have, I mean, PayPal and several banks have closed down and you can't, but still you can donate to them through certain banks. I don't know exactly, this might change. So this is one thing, but there are also other underground ways of getting money. And there might be so that they are selling some of their information to the media. This is allegations. I don't know if it's true or not. I would say it has a ring of truth in it. Basically, when they receive the material, first of all, they have to check if this is true. Is this and if this real documents? And then also, is this interesting documents? I mean, not all documents that are secret are interesting. Some are just boring. You know, they don't have it. If they have a political value, or if they have a value over it, and then, of course, we can take an example there. For example, the Afghan leak, Afghan war diaries. I mean, then there were several hundred volunteers going through and trying to censor all names that could be sensitive. Like, I mean, this was about the war in Afghanistan. So, of course, there are named there people that are informers telling the U.S. military about their neighbors being Taliban or something like that. And if this comes out, of course, these people can be killed. So they tried to redact this, and they redacted a lot of names, and so far none has been proven to be killed because of the Afghan release. But still, if you look at it, there are names there, that there are sensitive names there, and this could be a problem, and they try to do it to the best of their knowledge, but are they really capable of judging? It's not easy to know. You have to know Afghan interior politics, Afghan names, Afghan clan system. I happen to have written a book about Afghanistan. I lived in Afghanistan for 6 months, and I know this is very difficult. And I think maybe they were a bit lucky there that nobody got hurt. I think that since that time, they have been more careful. Like for the diplomatic cables, it's only 2,000 or something of 260,000 that have been released. They are working closely together with journalists, established journalists who have this kind of experience. Of course, everything shouldn't be published. There are information that will lead to people getting killed, but Wikileaks is not publishing everything. They are publishing far more than normal media, but still not everything. Still, they do redaction. They try to avoid this. So in a way, Wikileaks have been forced from being more maybe anarchist and having published everything they have been forced by the concrete circumstances to act in a more like a journalist, to in fact redact the information. They are not releasing it, so they are trying to take responsibility. But of course, there are questionable releases like the Afghan files, where I think personally, having been in Afghanistan, that they released too much information. There is always consequences. I mean, there is consequences of keeping things secrets too. So, I mean, there's a lot of, I think that generally more people die of secrets being kept secret than of secrets being revealed in general. I think actually it's very good that there was a split, that you will have several things, not only Wikileaks, also open leaks with very experienced people who have experience from Wikileaks starting this. And now there are also other people who are not at all connected to Wikileaks that are inspired by the idea. Now they have made Brussels leaks from leaks inside European Union. There is green leaks for environmental scandals or frauds, and there are some business leaks or something like that. So I think it's much better if we have many different. Then the question of political agenda, the question of concentration of power, it's not so, and it's also harder to shut down for the authorities. If there are 10, 20 or 100 different leaks out, how can you shut it down? If it's only one run by a small group of people, of course you can shut it down. In a way, you would say, why does Wikileaks, why is it so famous? Why has it done so much? Why is it everybody on the whole world knows about it? I mean, I would say, of course, it's a crisis for normal, old-fashioned investigative journalism. If all newspapers, TV channels had the money, had the resources, if they were to do a very good job, they wouldn't need Wikileaks. So you could say, like, Wikileaks is a symptom. Of course, you can criticize Wikileaks for they didn't do that, Julian said something stupid or not, but still, he's doing something, and he's working in a space because other media has not done what they should have done. Yeah. I guess that the big powers will have to it's going to be harder to keep secrets. And major superpowers like US, but also other powers like, I'm sure that Russia and China is studying this very, very carefully, and they are very afraid of leaks, but there will be more leaks. Yeah. I mean, probably, hopefully, this could work as a preemptive effect that next time you start a war or something, people will be more reluctant because they will know that they might be found out, even their documents, everything that's documented digitally, which almost everything is now, might leak out. So I hope that the people in power will be more careful, a little bit more afraid that they might have to take responsibility for what they do. Yeah.